It's March 9th, it's Miami, and the heat is on with another debate starring the two candidates vying to represent the Democratic Party, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. And Envision's Chase the Race reporters are there to bring you the youth perspective. My name is Q, and on the ground in Miami are our Envision alumni journalists Casey Pritz and Gabrielle Matz-Carter. They'll be talking to key figures from both the Democratic and Republican parties to see what issues are front and center for the youth in America.
Hello, my name is Gabrielle Matz-Carter and I'm from Kirkland, Washington. Today we're at Florida International University right outside the Latino Caucus. I am so beyond excited to go to the different events and interview different people to hear their different perspectives and their experiences. This is an amazing experience for youth as myself to have and bring back to my community. I'm so excited to see the candidates and to interview the person that I am about to right now and to hear what they have to think.
Hi, I'm Casey Pritz, and I'm so excited today to hear what people think are really some important issues that are in the youth community and why those aren't being addressed as much as some other issues. I'm also really excited to see why people think debates are so important and how those kind of sway people's views.
Our Chase the Race reporters were at the exclusive fireside chat with Secretary of U.S. Housing and Urban Development, Julian Castro. There's a white-hot rumor flying around the Democratic Party that Mr. Castro could be named Hillary's running mate. We asked him about the importance of the Hispanic voice in the upcoming election. Here's what he had to say.
What are some of the issues that you see prevalent in the Latino community and the youth, and why do you think these aren't addressed as much as some of the other issues?
Number one, I think that, as I mentioned, the consensus in 2010 found that 23% of young people are Latino already, Latino. And so when we talk about youth, essentially more and more that's the Latino community. And so all of the issues that face young people today, I think, are relevant to young Latinos and Latinas. The fact that we still have an education system that is not nearly serving young people well enough. And so Secretary Clinton has spoken very robustly about investing in public education, working with teachers, working with parents and local communities to improve outcomes, making sure that college is more affordable and accessible. One of the biggest challenges that we have today for folks who do go to college is that they go, but then they end up stopping out or dropping out. And so we need to make college not just accessible, but completable. Making it more affordable is part of that, but I think ensuring that people have a path to actually graduate and get out and then get on with their career.
I think what young people have responded to has been a sense of this Senator Sanders' position on issues and a sense that they think that he's going to be independent. And the thing is that Secretary Clinton also has demonstrated throughout the years an ability to stand up against corporate interests and for the people. And the more that she addresses that, I think the more that you're going to see more young people come around. And then if they combine that with strong outreach on college campuses and through social media and other technologies, I believe that she'll win the primary and that by November, that the overwhelming majority of young people will support her the way that they supported Barack Obama.
There's a lot of excitement in Miami around this pivotal debate. Let's check in.
We're here at the Democratic National Debate in Miami, where we're going to witness history as these candidates shape their platform for their party at a time when words really do matter. With 5 key swing states that are winner-take-all coming in the next few weeks, we will see this election shaped in front of our very eyes, as evidenced by the recent victory of Senator Bernie Sanders in the state of Michigan, overcoming a double-digit deficit to defeat Senator Hillary Clinton in that key primary. As we watch these candidates spar tonight, we'll certainly gain a better perspective of their opinions on key policy matters.
Larry Sabato is the director at the University of Virginia Center for Politics. He's a renowned political consultant who regularly shares his views on all the major networks. Larry spoke with us about how young voters can have their voice count in this pivotal presidential election.
Most of the answers that the candidates will give are canned. That is, they've answered these same questions 100 times or more, not asked simply by the media, but by citizens in town halls and along the campaign trail. Now, you can learn something from canned answers. You learn what their positions are. But I always look for the spontaneous moments, the moments that can't be predicted. When one candidate turns to another, having been irritated at something the other candidate says, and expresses himself or herself in a harsh manner, you can tell something about both people in how they act and react. Or indeed, every now and then you get an unusual question that was totally unexpected about a personal situation or about who they're praying for, or whatever it may be. And you know the candidate has no prepared answer for that one because it's such a strange question. And often you can tell something about the candidates answering questions like that. So it's always worth watching. I don't think anyone is obligated to watch all the debates. No one has that kind of time. But watch occasionally, and you will learn and get a flavor for the personality of the people who want to be your president.
Thanks. Really amazing stuff from the field, ladies. You are rocking it out there. I hear you might have a few more engaged voters for us.
Thanks, Q. Here we are today live at the Downtown Dems watch party in Miami Beach. Please tell me who you are and what you do.
Hi, my name is Richard Lamond, and I am the Vice President of the Downtown Dems. And I also own a water conservation company here in Miami.
Okay, tell me why we are here today and what you hope to hear tonight.
Well, we are here, as you all can imagine, for the Democratic debate. At least for us in Florida, this is really important because a lot of times Florida is on the later end of primaries or is taken a little bit for granted, but we're the biggest swing state. So what I'm looking for tonight is a substantive debate. We have Hillary supporters here. We have Bernie supporters. I just hope that this is just a day for the Democratic Party.
What are some prevalent issues that you would like to see discussed tonight?
Well, because of my profession as a water conservationist, I'd love to hear about the environment. I don't think they talk enough about it, and Miami is ground zero for sea level rise. Also, it came out that a nuclear power plant here is dumping salt water into the bay, so there's a lot to talk about here. Beyond that, of course, this is a city of immigrants, so I'd like to see how they address the immigration issue, both with illegal immigration and legal immigration, and see if they can relate that to some of the challenges Miami faces.
And what would you say to the youth, a lot of the youth who are watching it today, why should they be involved and why should they take a stance and a big role in politics?
Well, there's a few answers to that question. First of all, I'm 28 and I got involved way too late in the game. I waited till after college before I really started paying attention to what's happening in politics. And a lot of people write us off, the youth, even in your late 20s, because a lot of our peers, we don't turn out to vote. So the first thing I would say is to get engaged and form your own opinions as well. You hear a lot of what goes on from your parents. But, sort of make your own decisions. Go out, talk to the community, come to events like this. This is literally events for every age. And beyond that, get involved, join clubs like you guys are doing.
And is there a specific candidate that you're leaning towards today?
Well, tomorrow I'm going on CNN as an undecided voter. So I would say there may be a candidate I'm leaning towards, but I have at different points in this race very strongly considered both candidates. Let's just say Bernie has my heart and Hillary has my head,
Like that answer. Thank you so much, Richard, for agreeing to this interview today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now off to my Chase the Race correspondent reporter, Casey.
So we're here at the Democratic Downtown Dems, and it's getting really exciting in here. Everyone's really excited to see what Bernie and Hillary have to say, and the energy is getting really fun. They're playing some games right now, kind of guessing between some tweets. It should be really interesting to see how people guess and what turns out. I think this is going to be a really cool environment to watch the debate in, and I'm really excited to see how it turns out. This is my dream job, so I'm so excited to be here, and I'm live in the action and kind of going off of that, so I think that's going to be really amazing. So off to you, Q.
speaking of Envision alumni, we're providing an exclusive experience to witness the inauguration firsthand in January on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. To find out more about how you can attend the Presidential Inaugural Leadership Summit as an Envision alumni, visit envisionexperience.com. Philip Perez was a high school teacher turned Florida congressional staffer who is in a unique position to talk about how the young voters view their role in the election process.
Hello, my name is Gabrielle Matz-Carter, and we're at Florida International University right outside the Latino Caucus. Will you tell me who you are and what you do?
My name is Philip Jerez, and I'm a volunteer today with the Democratic National Committee.
What inspires you to be here today?
I'm here today because, we have a presidential race coming up, and I think that more often than not, a lot of the information that people get about, candidates or the races or what's important is what's being shared on social media. And I think that events like this where people can come in person, ask questions, have these conversations is a really great way to get to know for yourself what are the issues that are important to you and what are the questions that you want answered in order for you to make a decision in this upcoming election.
And besides caucuses, do you think debates are also important in getting the questions that you kind of want answered?
Absolutely, because you get, you can ask a question, you get to hear either candidate's side, and you really get a nuanced discussion going on.
Why is it so important for the youth to have an active role in politics, even though they may not have the ability to vote? Why is it so important?
Well, the craziest thing is that, trends show that over time, right now as it stands, the millennial population is probably the largest electorate in the country. And so that means that group of people within that age range have the most power in this presidential race. And if you understand how to use that power, then if you're an age group and things are important to you, then you can make a real difference. And so then, people who are 2 years younger, 16, 15, whatever it might be, these are going to be the issues that are important to them 2 to 3 years from now. And they're going to be deciding who's the next president. So in order for them to make an informed decision about their future, they got to know what's going on right now.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
The commissioner of the city of Miami, Ken Russell, took some time out of his busy schedule to chat with our Chase the Race reporters about how Miami is changing and how young people are driving a lot of policy momentum and creating excitement around the debate in Miami and energizing the youth to get out to vote.
We're here at the Miami City Hall with Mr. Ken Russell, the Miami City Commissioner. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, as a city commissioner, we make all the ordinances for the city. There's 5 of us, and we vote together on the laws, on how things are run in the city, how tall buildings can be, how wide streets are, how much the police are paid, all the runnings of the city.
All right, and how did you kind of become a politician, and what made you interested in politics?
Well, I'm now over 40 years old, and I've never been in politics until this year. So I used to sell surfboards, and I owned a yo-yo company. And then suddenly there was a contaminated park in front of my house, and I got involved. I enjoyed the process, and I decided to run for commissioner, and here I am.
How do you think that we could get more people out here voting?
If people really understood the importance of early voting, and they don't. There's not enough education out there. There's not enough awareness of how easy it is to early vote and how important it is to get in there early.
How do you think we can kind of energize this voting process and make people want to come out and vote?
Well, for me, I did a lot of local meetings and town meetings, and social media ended up being a really effective way to get the vote out for me. But as a campaigner, as I just went through it, it was door to door, waking people up, telling them how important it is, what the issues were, and letting them know how close the race would be without their help.
How do you think that kids like my age who can't vote yet can get involved into things like this and learn about the political system?
Well, as I said, I didn't have a political background before this, so when I started campaigning, I didn't have much of a support team. It was a local high school and their civics club that saw one of my speeches and that started helping my campaign. And that small group of kids, high schoolers, ended up making the difference in my election that got me elected over a very well-moneyed incumbent. And so they were able to empower someone that didn't have the strength without their help. And now that same team of high schoolers are interns in my office. So they can make a huge difference.
How important do you think it is to watch the debates and watch the debate that'll be coming on tonight? What do you think that does for the community?
Well, if you don't watch the debate, your total education is the sound bites in the news that's chosen, that's handpicked for you afterwards. And that leaves a slant that'll already give you an impression of what they think you should think. But if you watch the whole debate, you'll see a different conversation. And you'll see the entire evolution of the story, and you'll get a better picture of the candidates and what they believe in.
Could you ever see yourself being the next POTUS?
I just started as city commissioner, so I'm gonna work hard in my position here, but who knows what the future holds.
Okay, well, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you. Thanks.
Young voters have many issues that affect their lives. Here's what's hot on the minds of Miami youth.
We're out here with some students at Miami-Dade College who have some insight on tonight's debate. So tell me, why are you here tonight?
Well, I want to be witness of history, because it's either going to be the first woman, the first president woman that is president, or the first Jewish president. So yeah.
Awesome. And what are some issues that are important to you?
You know, I come from Miami-Dade College and I'm majoring in atmospheric science and meteorology. So an issue that is very important to me is actually climate change. And that's something that is going to decide the outcome for me.
Awesome. What would be a good outcome for tonight's debate for you?
Well, a good outcome for tonight's debate would be that us students come out more informed about the issues, and that our voices are heard and that we form an opinion about the issues. Thank you.
And then lastly, why do you think it's important for the youth to have an active role in politics and this debate specifically?
Well, I think they should be more because me, I'm an international relations major, and I'm really into politics. And when I see youth students not getting involved in politics, and this affect them directly, I'm like, no, it's not a good thing. That's it.
Thank you so much.
Casey, what are you hearing there?
We're here at the Filing Center in the Facebook Lounge at the Democratic Debate, and we're going to learn a little bit about what goes on in different states and the trending topics in each of them.
We're thrilled to be here co-sponsoring the debate with Univision and the Washington Post. And what we're hoping is that the conversation on Facebook will really help inform the questions that are asked at tonight's debate. And we're also going to take a look and see how the debate helps drive the conversation on Facebook. So Facebook really is the new town hall for the debate for the campaign this cycle. And it's really neat to kind of see how the conversation ebbs and flows as certain issues become important and as different things happen with the campaigns. All the campaigns are using Facebook to reach supporters and try to find new voters and persuade them to come over to their side and vote for them at the polls. And so we're also keeping an eye on that conversation to see how people are feeling and what candidates are doing it well.
Can you show us a little bit about what's going on in Florida right now and what topics are kind of trending right now?
Sure. So what we have here are a few heat maps that I'll show you. They show you the conversation around the candidates around the state. So this one's for Hillary Clinton, and you can see where the colors are darker, where the orange is darker. That's where more conversation is happening about her, and then where it's a little bit lighter, it's a little bit less. But as you can see, she's pretty consistently got good conversation around the state, around her candidacy. And this includes posts, likes, comments, shares about her, not just on her page, but across Facebook. So anytime somebody's talking about her, we sort of count it as part of that conversation. And then Bernie Sanders also pretty consistently has conversation across the state. So it should be interesting to see how people are talking about both of them, because there's a lot of interest between the two of them. As far as issues, the two biggest issues that we see in Florida are Cuba. And as you can see, people are talking about it pretty consistently, but down here near in Miami-Dade, where we are, conversation is especially heated, which is why it's so dark. And then the other issue that's big in Florida is immigration. What we're looking at here is a heat map around immigration in Florida. And as you can see, the conversation is pretty evenly dispersed around the state. So people all over Florida are talking about this, which again is why it's one of the top issues in the state. And then we can actually go to the national map and see some of the issues. We'll do a heat map. And then, so the big issues across the country include the economy, and you'll see it kind of fill in here. And you can see in Vermont, Bernie's home state, there's a very intense conversation about the economy, but it happens in other pockets here. So in this part of Colorado, I think there's probably a lot of universities out here on the coast. You can see where people are really concerned about the economy. And then, but the conversation around the economy goes everywhere because everybody's thinking about it. And then immigration is another big one. So you can see that fill in. And again, people across the country are talking about this. Now this has ebbed and flowed a little bit. Like earlier in the campaign, this was all dark red and it's now sort of evened out. But you still see there's pockets where it's super intense, but generally people are talking about it as well.
Thank you so much for taking your time to explain all this to us. It's really interesting and really cool to know about.
It's lovely to see you guys at the debate.
For a final wrap-up of this exciting day, let's go down to our reporters Casey Pritz and Gabrielle Matz-Carter.
Thank you so much, Q. So we're still here at the Downtown Dems gathering, and the clock is ticking down. Everyone's getting ready for the debate. Everyone's getting really excited. I'm here with Miss Martina, and she's going to talk a little bit about her political views and things like that. So you say that you're from Italy and you have political experience over there. What's it like coming to America and seeing the differences?
So here it's definitely more interesting. Politics in Italy is a little bit more dull. So I was very involved when I was in college and university, and that was very interesting, but it's nothing like here in the United States. We don't have debates. We just started actually like 2 years ago, but it's nothing like here. So it's definitely very interesting. The energy that you can feel, it's overwhelming. It's amazing.
And what kind of views and things do you think are really important to youth now today?
I think education is very important, and I'm very excited to hear what the candidates are going to talk about tonight. Immigration is something I really care about, and I think this country it's a topic very important for this country as well, and healthcare. So these three topics are fundamental.
Do you have any ways that you think the youth could get more involved in politics, even if they can't vote?
For immigrants, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a resident. I cannot vote to these elections, but I decided to get more involved with politics when I moved to Miami because I think it's very important to be involved in the community so that in 4 years when I'll be able to vote as a citizen, I will know what is going on and how to give back to the community. I will be more informed. I think that for immigrants it's very important. I always invite my friends who are residents and not citizens to come so that they can learn the process and they will be able to have more experience when it comes the time for them to vote.
What kind of topics are you looking forward to seeing tonight debated?
Immigration is something I really care about, being an immigrant, and I also want to hear more about education. I was just yesterday to the rally that Bernie Sanders had here, and the energy was amazing, and I loved his ideas about education. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what they have to say, both the candidates tonight, about education.
All right, well, thank you so much for talking with us today. It was really nice speaking to you. And back to my fellow reporter, Gabby.
Hello all. Today has been an amazing day. We started off at the Florida International University at the Latino Caucus and heard from some volunteers and some students at the school to hear their perspectives on the debate tonight and the structure of it and the importance of it. And then we were off to the Miami City Hall where we talked to some city officials and heard their take on the youth vote and what the importance of having a youth take part in the election. And now we're here at the Dems debate in downtown Dems in Miami Beach, and I'm so excited and thrilled with the experience that I've been able to take with me and bring back to my youth and family and the Kirkland community and my family in Chicago. I just want to take a moment to thank all of you who voted and supported me throughout this process, for you really are the ones that got me to where I am today. I want to say L-Dub, Lake Washington all the way, and thank you all again for all the support that you have given me so that I could be here today. Thank you so much. And off to Casey again for some final thoughts that she has.
So today was a really long day and it was really hectic, but overall it was an amazing experience and I'm so grateful for it. My favorite part personally was the file room. It was really cool to see behind the scenes of like how everyone edits and starts writing their papers and all these different things that go on behind the scenes of the debates. It's really cool to see not just what's on camera, but also what's off and behind the scenes. I think it was an amazing opportunity about all the people we got to talk to, like the city commissioner and things like this. That was an amazing opportunity, and I really learned a lot about how to handle myself under pressure and how to make up questions as I go and flow like that. This is a dream come true because this is definitely what I want to do. I'd like to thank all my family and friends who voted for me. It's an amazing opportunity and I'm so grateful. Shout out to Houston. I love you guys and I can't wait to come back and share what I've learned.
Thank you for watching. Do come back for 2 more events in July at the DNC and RNC conventions as we chase the race 2016.